I want you to take a minute and think through some of the good Christian couples you know that have prodigal children, prodigal sons, prodigal daughters. You know them. These are real people to you. Now think of the pastors you know that have children living completely ungodly lives. I have faces going through my head, just like you do. We all know this. This is real for everybody. You might even be able to think of some of the large, powerful church ministry leaders who have prodigal children. I recently had dinner with a global ministry leader who was sharing with me about his prodigal children. Broke my heart. And these are adults now. I want to make sure that I say this clearly so you understand this. No parent is in control of the free will of their children. Your children will make a choice to follow their flesh or follow Jesus Christ, just like you had to make that decision to follow your flesh or to follow Jesus. And I hope that if you're watching this, you follow Jesus. And if not, we're going to give you an opportunity later to follow Jesus. Now, this dynamic is why I wrote the book, Prodigal Parent Process. This book covers how and why the prodigal son or daughter is fully responsible for the life choices that lead to them becoming a prodigal. Now, as a parent, you're responsible to provide the environment for your children, just like God did. However, they are responsible for their choices, just like Adam and Eve were. Remember, in the earlier show, we discussed how God in Genesis created a perfect environment, and still 100% of his children became prodigals. Now, I really want to emphasize this fact, that you as the parent didn't make your children walk away from Christ. I've heard thousands of people blame themselves for their children's choices to rebel against the knowledge of God, saying, well, maybe I did this, or if I would do this differently, or I didn't do this enough. That's called grief, but you're not responsible. Your child, according to Romans 1, made a path of choices, rejecting God as God, and those choices move them down into various states of being a prodigal. And just go to Romans 1 and you can see it clear as day. As a Christian psychologist who's been dealing with prodigals for decades, I want to share what has taken place in my office for over the past 35 years. I'm welcoming you into a place you would never have the opportunity to be, and that's inside a counselor's office. I want to take you into the lives of thousands of men and women I have met with on Monday mornings. They come, they do 5-day intensives, and they fly from all over the world. Now remember, I'm dealing with people at the end of their rope. They need to change. They need to get free from sexual addiction, pornography, affairs, bad marriages, trauma, sexual abuse, okay, all kinds of stuff. Now in James 5:16, it tells us that if we confess our faults one to another, that we can be healed. Now often most people needing freedom have a secret that they often never told anyone in their life whatsoever. Some of them even promise, I will never tell anyone. They made a promise with their heart not to do that. And sometimes it's a secret of something they did that caused them so much shame that the thought of being honest about it is so painful. Now, oftentimes, there are secrets of things that have been done to them that their pain and shame about it is so overwhelming that they don't ever want to share or relive that nightmare of those experiences again. Now, in today's show, I want to talk through the possible secrets your prodigal may be keeping that could have been the beginning of them having a double life. And perhaps this could be something that has been kept closed and shut off, and it made them move away and stop attaching and trusting anyone in their life, even you. Now in counseling, we say that these secrets or traumas can cause what we call an existential crisis that moves your prodigal from being trusting, loving child to distrustful, afraid, and anxious child. When you've experienced trauma, you don't believe the world is safe anymore. You don't trust people because people have hurt you. And you can become afraid that something else dreadful can and will happen to you or happen to you again. Now, this causes them to act out in different ways that you would not approve of, for them to medicate this or even become addicted in the processes of avoiding the pain. Now, when we come back, we're going to get into these very specific secrets. And I'm going to warn you right now, it may be painful for you to listen to some of this, but I'm also going to encourage you to stay tuned with us and listen, because it's important. And if you know anyone, pastor, friend, neighbor who has a prodigal, please share this show on our social media or our website with them so that they can gain insight into this as well. Because this is a topic that is so painful and so not heard in the church about what the parent goes through. I never heard a sermon on what the prodigal father went through, sitting on the porch, staring day after day, month after month, possibly years, waiting for his child to come home. And all the time while the child's out there, he's creating all kinds of secrets and bad things in his life. Okay? And so there are things, and I'm telling you from my heart, I've heard thousands of these secrets. The chances of your prodigal having a secret that's keeping them stuck is really high. Knowing what kind of secret it might be might help you to be compassionate, but also maybe intelligent in the way that you talk to them. And maybe even start a conversation so they can finally say, yes, that did happen, and I never wanted to tell you because of who it was or where it was.